On a long, lonely finger of land known as the Whispering Coast, a tall, proud lighthouse stood. He was not a new lighthouse made of cold metal and glaring lights. He was ancient, built from massive, smooth, gray stones that had been pulled from the heart of the cliffs he stood upon. He had been there so long that the sea foam was a familiar friend, and the seabirds treated his windowsills as their own front porches. His name was Silas. Silas's job was more than just shining a light. Any lighthouse could do that. Silas's true purpose, the secret job he had performed for 1,000 years, was to sing the ocean to sleep. All day long, the ocean was a busy, bustling, magnificent thing. It played tag with the shore, roared with laughter in great crashing waves, and carried ships upon its strong blue back. It danced with the wind, wrestled with distant storms, and felt the deep rumbling songs of the great blue whales in its depths. The ocean was full of life and energy. But just like a small child who has played hard all day, when nighttime came, the ocean was often too tired and too full of leftover energy to settle down. On this night, the ocean was particularly restless. Its waves were not long, slow, sleepy swells. They were short, choppy, and fidgety, slapping against the rocks with a grumpy pish-pash, pish-pash. Its currents were tangled and messy deep below, and it heaved great weary sighs that sprayed salty mist high into the air. The little fishing boats bobbed up and down, unable to rest at their moorings. The hermit crabs stayed deep in their shells, and the baby seals on the sandbank couldn't sleep because of all the noisy splashing. Silas, from his great height, felt the ocean's grumpy exhaustion. He felt the fretful tossing and turning of the waves. He knew it was time. He took a slow, deep breath, a breath that seemed to travel all the way down his stone body to the very bedrock he was anchored to, and he began his song. It did not start with words or even a tune. It started with a sound, a note, a hum. It was a note so deep and so low that it was felt more than it was heard. The sound rumbled from deep within Silas's stone foundations. It traveled through the rock of the cliffs, down into the sand, and spread out under the water. A deep, vibrating hum that calmed the very seafloor itself. The tangled, messy currents deep below felt the vibration. The hum was so steady and so peaceful that they stopped their jostling and began to flow in smooth, parallel lines like freshly combed hair. The first layer of the lullaby was working. The ocean's deep-down fidgeting began to cease. Next, Silas lit his great lamp, but it was not a harsh, blinking light. It was a warm, heavy, honey gold glow, like captured sunlight. And it did not flash. It swept. In one long, slow, graceful arc, the beam of light swept across the surface of the restless water. It was like a long, gentle hand stroking the ocean's brow. Swoosh! The light would glide across the waves, painting them gold for a few seconds, and then a long, quiet pause of darkness. It would sweep again, and pause. The choppy waves looked up and saw the pattern. Light and wait. Light and wait. It was a rhythm, a slow, predictable, and comforting rhythm. They stopped their frantic slapping. They began to round out their sharp edges, trying to match the slow, graceful sweep of the light. Their grumpy pish-pash softened into a rolling whoosh. The second layer of the lullaby was working. The ocean's surface began to calm. Now, Silas added the melody. It was a song made of the ocean's own sleepy secrets. First, he hummed the song of the ancient sleeping whales. He sang a long, low, mournful note that echoed the peaceful calls of the giant creatures resting in the deep, dark canyons of the sea. It was a sound of immense size and immense peace. Then he hummed the song of the deep, silent trenches, places where no light ever reached. His hum became a perfect, uninterrupted quiet, a note of pure, deep, blissful silence, a reminder of the peace that lies in the most still and secret corners of the world. Next, he hummed the song of the gently drifting plankton. His deep hum was now overlaid with a soft, high, shimmering fizz, like a million tiny glowing bells. It was the sound of countless tiny lives, all floating together in a silent, sparkling dance, completely at peace. Finally, he hummed the song of the coral reefs at midnight. It was a complex and layered hum, full of many quiet notes that did not move or change. It was the sound of a beautiful underwater city that was fast asleep, every coral doorway and window still and peaceful. The ocean listened to this song of its own soul. It heard the peace of the whales, the silence of the trenches, the gentle drift of the plankton, and the deep slumber of the coral. The great, big, restless ocean began to breathe. Its waves, now long and rolling, became a soft, deep breath in as they swelled towards the shore. Shh, inhale. And they became a long, slow breath out as they slid back down the sand. Exhale. Shh. In and out. In and out. The baby seals on the sandbank felt the deep, slow rhythm and finally closed their eyes, snuggling into their mothers. The little fishing boats now rocked with a gentle, lulling motion like cradles. The hermit crabs peeked out of their shells, sensing the calm. Silas the lighthouse continued his song. His deep hum rumbled on. His golden light continued its slow, steady sweep. He sang of the deep and the silent and the small and the sleeping. He sang until every last fidgety wave had smoothed itself out and the entire ocean was breathing in a slow, deep, peaceful rhythm. The water now just gently lapped at the shore. Lap, shh, lap. The ocean was asleep. It was dreaming of silent trenches and drifting starlight. Silas did not stop. All through the night, he stood his watch, his deep hum a constant reassurance, his sweeping light a protective hand. He guarded the slumber of his great, big, tired friend, the mighty ocean. And now you too have heard the lighthouse's song. You can feel the deep hum inside your chest. You can see the slow sweep of the golden light behind your eyelids. You can let the slow, steady rhythm of the sweeping ocean become your own breath. In and out. There is no need to fidget. There is no need to fuss. Silas is watching over you too. You are safe. You can let the lullaby of the lighthouse and the ocean carry you into your own deep, peaceful sleep. Good night.